Yes, we are 100% obsessed with these charts, right? We put this work in every single day, and we push ourselves to lengths that no one else is willing to push themselves to. How's everyone's week been?
Great, man. Great week. Excited to get into it.
Yes.
Good week, man.
Oh my God,
My
dude.
first time here.
Oh, is that C? What up, C?
Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on? All right, so first time here, we're going to break it down. What we run through is our ability to identify and adapt to market conditions, right? So each and every single day, we show up to the game, we identify these levels, and we look to see what happens in these levels. And this is what really this is what makes our Discord so much different, right? And this is what's worked so well for me. And what it is to not predict, right? We don't predict the move. We don't go, oh, the market's going to rip today, or oh, it's going to rip in the next 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. We do not care if it goes up or down. All what we care about is identifying critical levels and seeing who defends them. And we've seen a lot of this going on this week and in the last couple months. And ever since we've built this edge, right? Like we were talking, I think it was me, Todd, and Darren. We were talking Thursday about everything that has gone into developing this state of mind, right? And this edge. And, guys, I'm so proud of it because, we talked about this. We started this Discord 6 months ago. And at the time, it was double tops and double bottoms, right? It was super simple, basic, and the thing is it was an edge based strictly on chart patterns and areas of value, which is a good edge, right? But then we took it one step further and learned to identify these levels, to identify that you must wait for something to happen before making the move. So we're going to run through today, this previous week, everything we've seen and how we made money on it. So I'm super pumped. All right.
That's right.
All right, so cool. So first things first, we're gonna start with Monday. I'm gonna start on QQQ. I traded QQQ a lot this week, guys. If you want to check out SPY, just say something and we'll take a look at it based on the journal, right? So I'm gonna break right into Monday. So Monday over here, QQQ was a perfect example of our edge, right? So basically, in a nutshell, we had Friday. We had this massive fake out, right? So we had this fake out at 37183. Right? So now Monday comes and we're pre-market, we're well below end of day. So end of day is our first critical level, right? So end of day is a level that I'm expecting a move to happen in. I'm expecting a battle here, right? And it's either going to be buyers or sellers. And I just made a video on this day. And what I loved about this day, and in the pre-market plan, I'm using end of day as a critical area, and whoever defends it, I plan to trade with, right? So we get this gap down, right, pre-market, and we immediately get this rip right up into end of day, right? Buyers took her right up, and then it gets met with selling, right? So once these sellers step in, there's a couple of different ways you could trade this, right? The old Josh would have just hopped in right at end of day, and and that's a good way to trade. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But this new way of thinking and this new philosophy I have on trading is being a little bit more patient and waiting for a more probable move, right? So the first area I identified as critical was this 36579 area, right? So 36579, this was right off the opening candle, right? This was critical to me because buyers really stepped up here, right? There was a large buyer that ripped price all the way up to 36792, right? And then sellers came in. So my goal here, and I put this in the Discord, and here, let me just whip out the 2-minute because the 2-minute shows it very well. My goal here was if sellers could defend this area, I was looking for shorts down to 364 demand, right? So here's the 2-minute over here on the right. So you can see we get this little Bayesian candle, right? This is buyers trying to defend, right? Now the old Josh would have went long here, right? This is an area of value. This is a double bottom, right? But what this is failing to understand the conditions in front of you, right? As you can see here, we've been selling off heavy pre-market, and we rejected end of day being such a critical level here where sellers defended it, right? If you're going to go long here, you're fighting against smart money. You're fighting against large volume, right? So, I mean, you can see this super red candle coming off end of day, knocking out the candle in front of it. And then we get this Bayesian candle. Buyers tried to defend. Now, buyers stepping up here. Now, in the event sellers crush this level, right? That's telling me buyers are gone for the moment, right? So now price sells off, breaks right through it, comes up on the 2-minute. You can see this wick right here, and we reject this area. This is when I first took the market short, right? For almost a $2 move here in 8 minutes, right? This was. It doesn't look like that large of a move, but look, this is literally from 365 or 36579 all the way down to 364. Or actually 36387. So a $2 move here, just super clean, super simple, and just perfect way to trade this. Now, what I love most about this day is this is not where we stopped, right? This was our first trade, and this 36579 area played such a role because then my next trade in the Discord, right, was if buyers can now defend this level, I'm looking for longs, right? So once again, using a critical level to identify conditions, right? Right here, sellers defended it, so we went short. Right here, buyers defend it, so we go long, right? So this is the philosophy that has worked so well for me, right? Is being able to go, hey, I'm not assuming today's going to be bearish. I'm not assuming it's going to be bullish. All what I'm doing is identifying a level in front of me and trading off it. That's it. So then we took this move all the way up to the upside. And the way I do this, guys, and I think I demonstrated a really good example Friday, right? Because I really was active on the Discord, like when I was getting in, when I was getting out, where my stop losses were, is I just keep moving my stop up using critical levels, right? So literally break and retest all the way to the upside. And then once we fall below it, this is when I get out of my trade, right? And actually Friday did a very good, I used the 9-day EMA on Friday too, and that worked really well. But I really love this day. I just made a video on it because just using a critical level here to go short and to go long is literally the definition of our edge.
And that's happened a lot this week, honestly.
Yeah.
That like a level that was critical in the beginning of the day, even if it's like in the middle of price action. Like what's crazy about like our current strategy is like we're making a move for price breaks through that midpoint. Previously, I would have been like, oh, we got to get in at the bottom to catch the biggest move.
Right.
Or like, I don't know, maybe this trend break or a double bottom or something like that, or a cup and handle.
Yeah.
The amount of times this week that I've taken a move at the midpoint of price action for the day and still captured like 100%, 85%, is crazy. Exactly.
Like that's the lie. I think we were talking about it Wednesday, Darren. Like this move right here is like the last maybe 40% of the trend. And it was a $2 move. A $2 move on QQQ is like 120%, maybe more, right? And if you trade options or futures, it doesn't matter. But if you catch a move, this move right here, I made well over 100%. And it was literally about $1 move. It was insane. End of the day, in the money options, and it just goes to show, right? We don't need that most satisfying trade, right? Darren, we were talking about this. Like, catching the perfect double top, right? And capturing that whole move, right? It feels great, but it's super unlikely. It's not high probability, right? But when
that's our job. That's large money's job.
Exactly.
That's not our job.
Exactly.
Our job is to capture the most probable.
Yes. Our job is to make money consistently, right? And when you identify smart money, making that move and trading with them, you become massively consistent. And what I love about this strategy, and a lot of people, it's hard to realize, is that you're being extremely patient. To trade this strategy properly, you have to be patient. You have to be able to watch the move happen in front of you and sit on your hands, right? And wait for that extra confirmation. But doing that sets you up for so much success because you're letting the market paint its picture, right? You're not just hopping in here and hoping, sellers come in and validate whatever strategy it is you have, right? You're letting most of that move happen and going, hey, I want the remaining 40% of it because that's going to make me 40 to 50% return on my investment, which is $1 million money, right? If you can do that daily, you'll be a millionaire, right? 40, 50% returns will compound like no other. So it's really important to get your expectation right and to understand all what you need to capture is this move, right? You don't need, look at, so I'm going to do both these here. These are the moves we captured. And literally, this day was over. This day was like a 2,000. This day was a very good day for me. 10 contracts each trade. Phenomenal day, right? So this right here is helping.
I took your call out off that level at 12:30 and made a bunch of money off that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Perfect.
And now let's run through that, right? So we had sellers here. Now check this out. Let me get rid of these guys real quick. Because what I love about the break and retest is the psychological aspect behind price movement, right? So the break and retest. So we're just going to run through it real quick. So buyers right here that went long made money, right? So when price comes back down to this area, they go long again, right? They have conviction in their double bottom, right? So they're going, hey, I made 100% return here. I want to do it again. So they go long. Now what happens when price falls below is now they're in losing trades, right? So their expectation was to make money. Now they're losing money. So once price comes up and retests their level, they take a small L and sell their position. When they sell their position, it adds fuel to the fire of bleeding and the market sells off profusely, right? So that's the psychological aspect of it to the downside. So now let's look at it like this. All the people that sold right here and made money and that are still holding their trades, as price rallies back into this level, they're faced with an option right here to hold or to get out for a small loss, right? So these sellers that were in control of the market, right? Look at the volume, right? Volume got heavy here. These sellers are now faced with a position or a situation to A, get out of their trade or hold on and hope. Now, most financial institutions know you don't hold and hope, so they sell their position for a small loss. Now, when they're selling their short selling positions, they're actually buying shares back, which is adding fuel to the upside here, which is why you get this large move to the upside, right? So, and that, look at, that was a $2 move as well. 365.75 all the way up to 367.75. So that's why our edge is so powerful, right? Like I think me and Darren were talking about this, and we were talking, is this edge always going to be as powerful as it is, right? Are market conditions going to change? Is this only working in this market? In reality, our edge isn't a chart pattern. It's a philosophy. It's an overall perception of the market, right? It's not, when I see this, there is criteria to it. But the important thing about our edge is that we use it to identify who's taking control of the market and trading with them.
But it's an edge. It's an edge that's strictly backed by human emotions, which
Yes.
you just explained.
Yes.
And what is the most constant thing in the market? Human emotions.
Yes.
So if your edge is based in human emotions, you'll be able to take it to any market. Yes, it might be trending a little bit different, but at the end of the day, if you're taking advantage of human emotions, of emotions in the market that are driven by human emotions, you're gonna win.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and because that's why it's been working so well. So, this is a perfect week. So this was Monday. All right. So now, once again, this level. Oh my God, this is crazy. Check this out. So this is how we traded Tuesday, which was Wednesday, which was a phenomenal trade. So there was a couple different ways to trade this. So the way I set up my days is I identify my critical levels. Previous day low is obviously a critical level because whatever happens here, right, is going to paint a picture of market conditions. So we have end of day, which happened to be right up here, right? And then we got pre-market high, which is up here, right? So this is how we're going into the next day. Now, we're starting to sell off pre-market, right? Now, the way I'm looking at this is if we hold below end of day and this 36579 area, which played an important role previous, right, is going to give us an indication of where to go. And you can see, look at that. That area was defended by sellers critically. Look at that. That 36579. Look at that. That's insane. Right off the open, we couldn't hold above it once on the 2-minute. Now, there's a couple different ways to trade this day, and we're going to run through them. So you got pre-market low, right? That's your first critical level. It's critical because in a downward trend, this is the last spot buyers showed up, right? So buyers held this pre-market low here. You can see we tested it once and twice. So if you could break below this, right, I'm looking for shorts to the downside. And once again, guys, a perfect break, retest of it, and you sell off. Right, so we
Love to see it.
Yeah, look at that. It's and this is the 2-minute. It works phenomenal. There's a couple different ways to do it. Whether it's 2-minute, 5-minute. I highly suggest you don't get too caught up on which time frame. Instead, you get caught up on the area that is critical. Because if you can learn to look at this critical level and understand what's happening around it, that is what's going to make you consistent, right? This, it's literally pre-market low. That's it, pre-market low, right? Look, snap.
At the exact same time, SPY was doing the same thing, so this is like double confirmation.
Oh yes, and that's enough. Yeah, look at that right there. Look at that.
Yeah, man, she went all the way up and tagged VWAP.
Yep, perfect VWAP. And we've talked about this before. When VWAP and a critical level are respecting each other, like see how this pre-market low and VWAP are pretty much in the same price level. That right there is like double confirmation, and it really adds to the conviction in the setup.
And I took SPY this day. I took that VWAP rejection, but and then I didn't take profits like exactly when I should have. I kind of gave them back a little bit because I was expecting like more selling.
Yeah.
But it was still a fire trade. I'm glad I took it off of VWAP there because I mean,
yeah,
I haven't done the retracement. It's probably pretty close to 50, but I was pissed because then I looked at QQQ.
Yeah.
And QQQ was just bleeding.
Well,
all the way down.
that's been happening.
I go to SPY.
That's been happening to me so often. I literally tried hard to just trade QQQ lately because I think we talked about it, but QQQ is worth $362. SPY is worth $433. Now, the ATR, which is the average true range of price movement, is higher on QQQ than it is on SPY, or just about the same, which means a $2 move on QQQ, let's just say, is a 2% move, which it is. I'm just making an example here. And then SPY, a $2 move is probably 1.5%. So it's giving us bigger moves. It's and for me it's just been a lot more cleaner. I remember looking at SPY this day and it just wasn't selling off. It was just different. It was just different, right? And but the trade I ended up taking was this one here. I did not hop in here, and the reason is there was significant news that was coming out at 10 o'clock. Look at the volume, right? So, but I still identified this. I actually put in the Discord, this is a perfect setup, but I'm not taking it because of news at 10, right? I still threw it out there because I want everybody to get in the mentality it takes to identify this, because this right here means sellers are in control. And if sellers are in control, what's it going to take for you to switch to bullish, right? It should be a lot, right? So, like, for me to be bullish, I need to see a critical level that was previously defended by sellers be defended by buyers, right? So until then, I'm bearish. And then, so this was our next critical level. And look where we got this from. It was perfect. Look at this. Previous day low, right? So this right here, this 36391 area was yesterday's low, right? Was Tuesday's low. So we sold off heavy right here, and then we get below it. So now I'm looking for a retest off this one. Let me change the color so that we can all know what it is. I'm looking for retest at this blue line right here. And it's literally price rips into it bullishly. And I'll tell you where I got in was this candle right here. So on this candle, you can see we get this large green candle. I want to see this get knocked out. I want buyers, I want sellers to go, nope, you guys are getting blown away. So on this red candle, when we closed below it, this was confirmation for me to take the market short, which, you could say was a little late. It's a matter of how comfortable you are with the setup and the strategy. But look at that. Price literally ripped.
Perfect entry, dude.
Yeah, right? Like, dude, that was a $2.50 move. Because there was no demand until 361. Look at that.
Bro, look at that green candle at 361.
Yeah. Dude, listen, this is what we do, guys. And this is why so many traders get it confused with predicting and reacting. See, it looks like the trader who knows how to identify a critical level, he looks like a fortune teller. He looks like he could read the future. And in reality, he's not. He's getting these levels from previous price action. So all that work we've done on identifying double bottoms and double tops comes in so much handy for this reason right here is your targets. So on a larger time frame, right, the market looks like this. This is what the market looked like pre-market. So I don't know, but a highly probable trade is if we can get below 364, we're going to go all the way down to 361. Right? It just makes the most sense. Right? If we fall here, it's a good chance we're going to reach that market imbalance over here at 361. And it's literally what happened. Price comes down, tags 361, which was the opening candle here back on 613, right? 361. So price literally comes right down, and it was perfect.
That's definitely large money right there.
Yeah.
That green candle.
Yeah, just holding it.
Yep. But man, the price action on QQQ versus SPY on this day was so much better on QQQ. SPY was a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
Stop. I can't believe I even put it on any trades.
Yeah. I
mean, it's just all over the place.
Yeah, yeah, look at this. This is SPY here. Yeah, it was all over. Look at this. Yeah, so and I've definitely seen that.
I mean, you could have taken that. Wait, is that the day? 621?
Yeah.
It still did. Look at that price level. It still did a break and retest.
Defended it.
Later in the day.
We took this move.
Yeah.
We took this move right here.
Yeah.
Look at the volume.
Is that the one I just posted in the Discord?
Maybe. Look at the volume here. Yes, I remember taking this. So
I think I took that.
So that volume there, you can see here, really, I don't know why I can't. There we go. Look at that volume right there. Right at this level. This 43586. So, look at this. Maybe about the 5 minute. Is it? Yeah, right here. Okay. So, once again, pre-market low, critical level, right? We snap below it, come up, retest, sell off. So now our mentality, the way us as traders need to look at this, right, is hold on, is this is a important level. We call them critical levels, right? If sellers defend this, we go short. If buyers defend it, we go long, right? Now, to identify a critical level, you got to be patient, right? So you gotta obviously identify a buyer and then a seller taking over. So check out these wicks before. This is the definition of sellers defending it still. Look, all these wicks, all these wicks. This is why I always trade with the 5 and 2 minute. It's really important because on the 2 minute, actually, that not once did buyers really defend or above successfully, right? So this is not a long entry, right? This is the long entry right here, right? And let's look at it on the 2 minute, right? So we've reached this level. This candle right here that knocks these ones out, bam, that's your entry. And then it rips up. Volume comes in, confirming the move. And we were a little short of our target, but that's okay. If you use your strategy properly, right, you can see we couldn't hold that. So that's when you get out. Yeah, and once again, did we catch the whole move? No. But we did catch the most probable move here. And what is that? 4.356 all the way up to 4.3670. So it's literally another $1.60 move, $2 move. That right there is, I want to call it low hanging fruit, but it's literally the whole watermelon. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like that's literally 100%. And that's why I used to not trade like this, and it's such a lie, right? Like it's you feel like you're missing it, but in reality you're not. You're actually taking the smartest move. You're letting smart money show up, and now you're trading with them. It's really really cool stuff. I love seeing it each and every day because it's a mentality. It's a whole concept. And look, that was again that same level the next day played a huge role. Look at that. So,
My God. What's crazy is like we always talked about trading with conditions, and I used to just think that same thing, but on a larger time frame. So like I would say if we're bearish yesterday, I think we're going to be bearish the next day, and I would look for short opportunities.
right.
Which that's getting into predicting. Whereas what I'm doing now is I'm zooming way in on the 5 and 2 minute, and I'm like, okay, I see buyers are here. I'm going to look to play with buyers if they defend this level. So in a way, I'm thinking the same thing, but I'm just zooming way in, and it's just worked way better for me.
Yes. Well, and then once again, oh my God, this next day was insane. This next day was insane. Now look at the difference here. So now we come into 360 demand. Look at this. Oh my Lord. So, all right. So, I get so excited because I literally remember going through this. Okay, so let me find end of day. End of day is right here. Well, this day was.
Where you at?
The next day I'm at. Hold on. We are at 622. I think. Hold on.
Yeah, it's 22.
So we got and I traded QQQ this day. Once again, price action on QQQ was so much better than SPY. You can see here I got them both rolled up on the 5 minute. You still could have definitely traded SPY here. But let's just run down QQQ real quick because I feel like it really demonstrates our strategy really well. Actually, oh my Lord. Okay, hold on. All right, so hold on. My bad. All right, so first things first, let's just run through SPY. So SPY, I identified this level as critical, right? This 43458, right? Price literally rallies past it, comes down, retest it. Was it SPY or QQQ did I call out? I think it was QQQ with the perfect entry. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
It was QQQ. Okay. So 2 minute over here. Okay, so there was a couple different ways to trade this. But so here was end of day. Um we rallied right past it. Then there was this critical level right here, which played a significant role. So this is where I first entered the trade. Was at 326 or 36247. It literally rips up past it, comes down, retests it, rallies. This is the trade I called out in the Discord. And let me just.
I'm seeing it. You did. It's right there.
Yeah, it was right here. This basic.
36282.
Yeah, yeah. And so I called this out at 10:09 a.m. It was perfect. 2 minute candle right off this area of value. And the volume is what made this trade critical, right? Look at the volume, just really started to pick up. And this was literally a $2 move in 6 minutes. It was insane. And it felt so good because I used to let all this, right, all this happen, and I would be like, oh, I missed it. And then rush an entry and, just no process to it. But this trade right here is completely systematic. It's, there's a strict process to it. Patience, discipline. You have way more control taking this trade. Obviously, you would have made more money going with this demand rejection, but there was way more variables. And
I don't want it. I'll do the break and retest
yeah,
all fucking day.
yeah,
consistent.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, look at this. And then SPY was very easy to see. You break a critical level, come down, retest it, right? Massive volume, and then a massive, what's that? A $2 move to the upside. It's crazy. So this was another great example this week of our edge. And then look at how this level remained critical here. Literally matched up with VWAP. Buyers defended it. I think I have to check my journal, but this area right here, we ripped up past it. I was looking to get above high of day, which is exactly what we did. And yeah, I mean, it was just really, really good trading. This was a fake out, but still, that happens. Our edge is not perfect. You know what I mean? But getting the habit of learning what's in front of you and what you need to see, and just stick to it.
The thing I love about our edge, like, okay, that scenario right there where it was a fake out, or you just showed like breaking high of day. We saw some bullish candles off of that level. You're in that trade until you break that level.
Exactly.
When you break that level, it's done. It's like my stop outs have been effortless since
Right.
I started doing this critical level thing.
Right.
Like, if it doesn't defend it, I'm done. It's none of this.
You're not even gonna get hurt.
None of this head and shoulders where the right shoulder, like, it could be anywhere. Sometimes
Right.
It's right shoulder's a little bit higher.
Right.
Sometimes it's lower.
Right.
This is just fucking strict, either in or out. You see it or you don't. It's done.
Yeah. It pulls all the second guessing out. It literally is as simple as I'm entering here at 36528 and I'm getting out at 3652. That's it. I'm risking 5 cents here to make $2. You know what I mean? And that's what's so important, because we talk about consistency, right? Consistency is not how well your winners are. It's about how well your losers are. How tight, how much money do you give back to the market? Everyone can make money. Anyone can put on a winning trade. I want to see the dude that can take an L like it's nothing, keep it short, keep it simple, and keep it moving. And we're gonna talk about that Friday, because that's exactly what happened to me.
Yeah, about them critical levels too. The way you put them critical levels, when it comes to a critical level, I like seeing little bull flags and bear flags
Yeah.
on 2 minute. I see that.
Yeah.
I'm loving that.
Yes. 100%. And because what that literally is too is it's literally so chart patterns are collective human behavior, right? And every time we see a bull flag, right, like right here, we're seeing sellers getting stomped out. We're seeing smart money repeating some sort of human behavior. That's what a chart pattern is, right? It's got some sort of statistical reliability, right? Which means it happens, a percentage out of the time it works. It's not 100%, but a chart pattern or a candlestick analysis, right? Which is our way of reading the picture in front of us, right? So we always hear, let the market paint a picture, right? What that means is let the chart patterns happen. Let the bull flags come in. Let the double bottoms come in. And based on which chart patterns you're seeing in front of you, this is something you cannot predict, right? You can only react to what's in front of you. You can only react and see the double bottom and then identify the critical level that needs to be broke for you to enter the trade. Right now, what really started this way of thinking for me was end of day. So end of day is previous day close. It's a critical level always. It has tons of volume. It's whatever the closing price of the day prior is. It's that simple. If we closed at 362, end of day is 362, right? That's what happened here. And it was defended with buyers, right? So this used to be our entry, right? Our end of day was defended, and I'm targeting so on and so forth, which is a great strategy. It works like clockwork. You will continuously see end of day rejections. And what it is a critical level being respected. It's literally the same strategy, right? So I want people to think of our strategy not just a break and retest. It's it's a critical level being respected or not respected, and then based on that information in front of you, you then make your trade. And what this does is put you in a state of mind of identifying and perceiving market information objectivity, right? So now you look at the market through a lens where you're not predicting, you're not biased, you're not trying to see sellers come in or buyers. You're completely on the sideline reading the book, right? This is how we read the book. It's through candlestick analysis, it's through chart patterns, and then our critical levels give us an area, right? And whatever happens there, we trade with. And that right there is, it's like, I want to call it a trading strategy, but in reality, it's a philosophy. It's a way of thinking, and it's really been working very well. I've noticed my P&L performance has been astronomically better. My fear and anxiety has been so much better, right? Like I'm not, my fear has literally become non-existent because now I'm not nervous about missing anything. I just sit back and let it happen. It's been a lot better for me. So
Yeah, and Thursday and Friday were absolutely amazing days.
yeah,
I just observed opportunities and I did not feel pain from the market once, and I was able to be patient, and it wasn't like it was. I just waited. I literally just waited for the levels, man. It's such an
yeah,
objective way to read price action. That's what it is.
right. Exactly, and that's why like when, so we've talked about this before. When you are experiencing fear or you're anxious or you don't want to give any money back, right? When you're going through these human emotions, you're not thinking properly. You can't. It just you're you're nervous, so you can't access the knowledge that you've earned that's in your subconscious mind, right? We've all like taken the course. We've all Googled on YouTube, or we've went through our journal and we learn all this information about ourselves and our strategy. But if you're nervous or you're fearful, you can't access that information properly, which causes you to self-sabotage yourself and make losing trades. So what's so awesome about this strategy is you sit sideline, right? You sit on this, you're not nervous, you don't have fear, you're being patient, And based on the information in front of you, you put on a trade, right? And now you can access all that knowledge you've learned, and it's and that right there is what really helps. Like so let's break down.
Very objective.
Yes, super objective. And all right, so now QQQ, I took a hit this day, so let's talk about it. Okay, so I identified pre-market low here. Now where I went wrong here is let me whip out the 1 hour. So we had demand over here I had demand at 360.11. Where I failed was, let me get rid of this real quick. This was also demand. This was a left shoulder over here, right? Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So this was an inverse head and shoulders forming with a deep right neckline, right? So my goal here was to go pre-market low down to 360 demand. Perfect trade plan. There's nothing wrong with that. But I did fail to identify this demand zone as well, right? So you got your left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and that's fine. That's gonna happen, right? That's completely fine. So I identified pre-market low as my critical level, and I was looking for shorts below it. So we broke below it. We came up, retested it, right? I took the market short, and you can see that demand zone was well respected, right? And we could not make a lower low. Price rallied and blew out of here, right? So, and this is why it's so important to keep your stop losses tight, right? So, and the way I do it, we've talked about it before, because this is going to happen. You're going to identify a critical level, you're going to go short, and buyers are going to come in. That's fine. But just like Darren said, as long as you're respecting your trading process and you're getting in at that critical level, you're not going to get hurt that bad. You know what I mean? So, and you keep those hard stops in, it's going to be fine, right? So price rallied, boom. So there's two ways I could have went about this day. I could have cried, I could have gotten mad, and closed my computer and walked away like a little bitch, right? But instead, I'm like, all right, took an L, it's a $600 hitter. I'm like, I don't care. On to the next, right? I identified my edge, I took it, and I lost. Boo-hoo, right? What's next? So you can see here, this chop started happening, right? Price was going all over the place. I didn't feel comfortable putting on any trades. I didn't like any. I wanted to see something more. And then over here on SPY, right, I identified this double bottom. Now, I have not been trading this way recently. But does that mean I can't? Absolutely not, right? I identified this double bottom. Right? We have this demand zone, which was respected once, twice, third time, couldn't make a lower low. Once this candle right here, and Todd put me onto this, once this candle, 2 minute, breaks above the red candle before it, this is my entry, right? So I entered this trade long, and the rest was history. And I use the break and retest as trade management here, right? So literally, we break above the previous resistance, right? Come up, retest it. So this is another great entry, right? And this is what I love about the strategy is you can add to your positions, right? You can literally get in here. So instead of going, oh, I'm hopping in here and I'm getting out here, now you're in the position of going, hey, this trade's working my way. I'm used to catching the last 40%, right? So why not enter when you're halfway through the move? You know what I mean? So once again, you know what I mean? You're changing your perception here. So literally, buyers come in, boom, rips up, perfect. This is when I got out of the trade, right? I took my money back because I was P&L watching, right? I was, I didn't want to give any money back, and I took that first L but that's fine. Price started to rally, and then if you use that break and retest properly, you would have literally gotten out right when we broke below that critical level. So really good price action. I was able to make back all the money I lost times two. Darren, you traded QQQ, right? And look at this.
Yo, I want you to pull up the volume on the 1 minute on honestly both. I got it up on SPY and QQQ. But dude, when I saw this, I had so much conviction in this long setup, man. Plus, we had that price level. I did QQQ 362.47.
Yes.
Pull up the little volume spikes. Every single time we pulled back to that level, we saw a massive green candle and a huge volume, dude.
Wow.
When I saw that, I was like, dude, I'm all in.
Well, and what's that telling you?
Yeah, big money. I was just spotting big money trying to play in the market.
Yes.
It kept on pushing it up.
Yeah. And that's literally...
I took my profits. I made 100%, which I don't like to do that, but I was driving at the time, and I didn't want to be managing a massive trade. And so
you have to.
Profits, but I took my profits at 12.33, and I mean, I haven't actually checked out how much time decay ate them, but I mean, I still think that was a pretty good exit.
Well, let's...
Yeah, we did go a little higher, but...
I forget how I had this, but let's talk about this trade here real quick, because this was perfect.
And that volume was...
So this is what
everything.
Yeah, exactly. So once again, price and volume analysis. You're using price and volume because the volume is telling you who's in control. Volume is not a lagging indicator. Volume is right now what's happening, right?
Zoom in, yeah.
And then literally, this is it here on
you're on the 2 minute.
Yeah, here's the 1 minute. So we rip. Look at that first volume candle, right? Bam. Large money. Rip up. Look at this pullback. And then look at the volume.
Yeah.
Just literally, like you said. And now look at this, though. We got this trend line down. And then we break past it with volume. Once again. Come down, retest it with volume. Once again. And then rip past this critical level, which was high of day. Right? And then the rest was history. Price just ripped. Kept ripping, all the way up into this area right here. Once again, a critical level. Why is it critical? Why is this level critical? Because sellers came in there, right? There's a large seller right here. And when price comes back, he's defending his position. This is how you must look at the market. This is how you must look at it. You have to look at the market through an auction mentality. There's a seller here. Let's just say he's got $1 million trade, right? And he's holding it. Now, when price comes up, he's faced with a decision to double down, add more, and defend it or get out. And based on what he does, we trade, right? So this is what we call a double top. Perfect analogy. And look at this, though, Darren and Todd and everyone. It broke out. False breakout.
It tried to, yeah.
He wanted that to happen, so it provided liquidity for him to add to his position.
Yeah, I mean...
He let that happen.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely need more confirmation to go along.
Yes, right here.
That.
Yes.
That's not enough. I mean, that's not quite enough for me.
No.
If I did, I would have stopped out really quick. But
yes. Yeah. And
but I think... So the large money is just sitting at these different levels, and price just goes to that level and says, "Is he still there? Yes or no?" If he is, we go down. If he's not, we go up and seek the next large money. And now price is just constantly swimming around trying to see defending what, and that's what I just was able to see that so clearly on Friday.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
man, it's perfect.
Well, and think about it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Todd.
Short at the low for sure.
Yeah. Well, and
that's that short double top, Todd.
Yeah, that where it made that lower high.
Yeah. Right here.
Yeah.
Well, and let's talk about that. So Todd broke me down on this entry on the 2 minute, and I love it. Right. So identify a level on the 2.
It's a break and retest to the downside.
Yes. Yeah. Literally.
Oh man.
Literally.
That's perfect.
And now we've talked about the psychology behind the break and retest. I just want to break it down one more time, and I want to beat it into everyone's head. Um, so the psychological aspect of the break and retest is buyers are going long right here, right? Right at 36448, right? They're going long. They want price to go up higher. So when it doesn't, they're in a losing trade. So when they're in a losing trade, they want to get out of a losing trade. So price rips up to 36443 and they get their money back. And when they get their money back, they're thankful they get out of the trade. And then look, when they're selling their positions, it's adding fuel to the downside. So now think of this as an auction. You already have your sellers there. And now you have buyers counteracting it. We call that a battle. Once sellers win, not only are they already stronger, but now the buyers are not as present. Now you still have buyers, but there's not as many, which now creates the market imbalance of supply and demand. Right now, supply is getting higher. The supply for shares is getting higher. The demand is getting less, which causes price to go down. And now, why does it go down to a critical level or a demand zone? And the reason is because now you have large money sitting at these areas going, I'm not going long until 362, right? So this will then pull price all the way to it because there will be a massive buy order here, right? And this is what we call liquidity. Now, this is all liquidity. This is all just in between. It's just in between two massive orders, right? You have a huge buyer here, and you have a huge seller here. This is in between. This is the move we want. We want to capture in between, right? And the way we do this is by identifying what happens at these areas critically.
That's an amazing trade right there.
Yeah. No, that was phenomenal, Todd. And
Yeah, I took the you already know that took Josh that red on that when it took that green out at the top,
Right here.
Stop above.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Oh wait, which one are you talking about? This one right here, Todd?
No, go over to your right.
Oh, this
Over a
one.
little bit more. Yeah.
Yes, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Now, once again, this is a seller defending a critical area. And then now you know your
No, that one, Josh, to the right of your cursor, just a little bit right.
this one.
Right. No, right. Yeah, that green. That red took out that green.
Oh, okay. Because
That's where I was in. My stop was
right there.
oh, that's perfect, dude. Look at that.
Funny moves.
Look at that, dude. That's see, I would have. That was perfect.
I don't know where I was when this is happening, but like I love to see that. Like, man, I was done for trading after for the day at that point when I got out of my trade, but I just love to see it happening like for the rest of the day.
Well, because
and a double top.
Well, what that's doing, Darren, is validating your confidence in it, your conviction in it, right? It's building the trust you have with this strategy. Now, I'm sorry, with this philosophy. This is a way of thinking. This is, you can call it a trading strategy. You can call it whatever you call it. I don't care. But as long as you can view the market in a objectivity state of mind, which means you are able to perceive the information properly. You're not biased. You're not assuming. This literally all breaks down to not predicting. This is nothing other than raw dog reacting to price action. That's it. You look at price action, you identify a critical level, and based on what happens there, you put on a trade. That's it.
Yeah, I don't think he took this trade because it was a double top. He
No,
took it because
right there.
the price action was validating sellers in that area.
Yes.
Like that entry is literally perfect.
Yeah.
Because you have an area where you think sellers are going to show up. You wait till you actually see it prove out, and then
yes,
bam, you're in.
Exactly. Like you don't just get in here, right? You identify the critical area, right? It makes a lower low, comes up, and then this red candle blows this one out, and then it's over. And look, ready? Massive sell-off. Oh, right into 362.
And that red bar that I entered, I put my stop right above it.
Yeah.
Right at the top of that red bar.
Right. So your stop's right here.
Yes, exactly.
So you're risking.
And if it knocks me out, I'm going to the next trade.
Exactly. So you are risking pennies to make dollars.
Yeah.
And that's
every time I lose, I'm only going to lose that same bar I got in.
That's
but
it.
When I win, it might win 4, 5, 6 bars. Every time I lose, I'm losing just that one bar.
See, that's critical. That is what consistency is. I remember I used to go, I want to be a consistently profitable trader. I need to become consistent. But my trading process, my mentality, my philosophy wasn't consistent. It was, I'm going to do this if this happens, or I'm going to do this if, let me rephrase that. It was all over the place. I just was switching up strategies, which is fine, but for me, it wasn't. For me, I needed a consistent state of mind. I needed to be patient until an area is defended and then go long. That's what I needed to be able to identify what's in front of me properly. Because it's not the strategy that's making you fail. It's your ability to identify what's in front of you and act on it properly. And, that's why I failed for so long. I continuously made the same mistakes. I couldn't understand why I wasn't making money consistently. And what it was is I was seeing chart patterns and like my pre-market plan was, I used to feel like I had to be right. I had to be right. When price action looked like this, I had to be like, oh, it's going to be a bullish day or it's going to be bearish. Now, I literally don't care what happens. I sit sideline, and once a critical level is either broken or respected, I go long or short. And then I manage risk. And that right there has given me consistency. Making money day after week, month after month, consistently. And that right there is it's a state of mind. It literally all comes down to a state of mind. So I really hope everyone can start to see it this way, because it's really been life changing for me. And it's a good philosophy on life. Shouldn't assume anything. Like
what they assume would make an ass out of you.
Yes. And it will make us all broke. I tried it for so long. It's literally patience. And that's another thing, right? I said it before, but the reason why I love this strategy is it's more of a state of mind. It's sitting back, letting the market do its thing, and then trading accordingly. And I don't know about you guys, but when I'm sitting patient and letting critical levels be respected or defended, I'm not making stupid decisions, right? I'm not just entering trades and that's half the battle, right? I used to be a trader that I couldn't control my emotions at all. I would just get in a trade and then hope it went my way, right? So I think when you could finally pass the point of being able to sit by yourself and patiently wait for conditions to appear and then adapt to them, right? I think that's the biggest problem with traders. It was with me. I couldn't, sit stagnant and just wait. It's a skill, but more importantly, it's a state of mind. It's being able to control your emotions and act appropriate. So it's really good. But we're going to be wrapping up here soon. Does anybody have any other trade or any other scenario they want to break down, or any feedback or any questions or anything like that?
Yeah, one thing I did want to mention was just about the pre-market plan, and like every single time I make my pre-market plan, it's getting simpler.
Right.
And honestly, the more I think about it, like the worse off I do during the day. Like I look at the conditions of the overall trend of the market, but all I really care about is the price action that's in front of you right now.
Yeah.
And my pre-market plan literally just involves looking at the levels and and looking at who respects them. So
Yeah.
from that point of view, like, it's much easier for me to make a plan, and my plan is just to act appropriately around each
Level
of these price levels.
Yes. Yeah,
It's just simplifying it so much.
And we talked about it before, but it should be simple. Like it's my pre-market plan literally consists. I used to think I had to get it perfect, right? And I've seen other traders going very deep into pre-market analysis, right? And what this does is set your mind up to expect something to happen, and when it doesn't, now you're confused, right? Now or worse, you're training your brain to look for something specific in an unstructured environment. The market is so unstructured. There's all these variables. It's all this crazy stuff happening. Nobody could get the pre-market plan to a T. Never, not in a million years. But if you, like Darren said, if you simplify that process and identify critical levels, and then just identify what it's going to look like generically, right? When I do my pre-market plan, I try to do it on like a 1 hour time frame, right? I try to visualize what's going to happen on a 1 hour, right? Which level is going to be respected, which one isn't, and this keeps me unbiased, right? Like we were talking about, and it's gonna help you remain in that right mindset. And I mean, look at this week. It's just selling off, and we all traded it perfect. So
yeah, I think this strategy just eliminates the possibilities for the market to cause pain, and that has been the biggest thing. Like, when I look back at price action, I don't think about the times that the market caused me pain, because the only times they did was those tiny areas where I stopped out, and that is getting quicker and quicker. And now all I do is I look back at the charts and I just see like opportunities, buyers, sellers taking control of these levels.
yeah,
and I just feel so much more confident in approaching the market now with this strategy.
exactly, and like and like you said, it's a state of mind, right? It's controlled, and I'm looking forward to trading it every single day of my life. And I love it. This Discord, before we wrap up, I just want to say we have been building this for the last 6 months. We are continuously showing up. We're continuously putting in work. Shout out to everyone that continuously shows up. This game is not easy, but once you realize your biggest opponent is you can then start to make serious changes to your mentality, which is going to help you crush it in this game. So, shout out to everybody showing up every single day, putting in the work it takes. This is not easy. It's very hard to dive deep into your failures, and trading's all about that. It's all about your accountability and diving deep into your journal and figuring out where you went wrong. Like Friday, I put on a losing trade. So what? I didn't let it define me. Instead, I sat back, reevaluated, and crushed it. That is consistency, right? And remember, guys, if you're just breaking even, you are killing it. Do not get it confused. This game, 95% of traders lose money, right? And I remember when I first got consistent, just breaking even $200, $300 a month just meant so much to me, because what it meant was I was able to swim, right? So just don't beat yourself up. Get to break even, and then start looking to the future, because it's the process and your ability to follow it which is going to make you successful, right? And I truly believe it all comes down to the way you are perceiving market information. We all have our own universe. We all have our own reality, right? But we all have the same charts in front of us. And your ability to extract opportunity out of this boils down to your ability to identify and adapt to market conditions. So, really good recap, guys. Listen, thank you all for showing up. I hope you all have a great weekend. Let's attack these markets and just keep working on ourselves. All right. I'll see you guys Monday.
All right. Appreciate it.
Yeah, have a good weekend, everyone. I'll see you on Monday.